Hello and welcome to more Cuphead, where in the last episode, we got started with our adventures in the game. We unlocked our first super move, as well as a couple shots for us to use. We beat 2 bosses and a running gun level, and in today's episode, we are going to continuing our adventures through Inkwell Isle One, and we're going to start off with the second of the 2 running gun levels in the game. You'll notice that any bosses indicated by a change in scenery, such as this, is obviously not the same as the background trees next to it. Whereas this is a running gun level indicated by the target on the ground. And notice the second target is on the ground up here. There's 2 running gun levels per world, and we're going to do the second one right now. But you may be asking yourself, but we can't reach this. It's clearly out of reach. There's no ramp here. Well, that would be where you're wrong. Because if you follow the path over this bridge and back around here, you'll notice that the path actually goes underneath this cliff. And if you follow it around like this, you can get up here early and complete the running gun level. And you may be wondering why I chose to do it in this order, where, you know, we have to take the shortcut. First off, if you'll get an achievement for taking that shortcut. But you may be wondering why I've chosen to do it in this order, and I promise you there is a method to the madness. It just won't become apparent until we get to World 2. But for now, we are going to equip the Chaser Shot, because that is the most helpful thing we can do for running in levels, and start it up, like so. Alright, so for the first part of this level, you actually don't want to use the Chaser Shot at all. Because there's a pink ladybug that's going to be spawning here pretty soon, and the only way to get the first coin in this level is to parry off of that pink ladybug like this, and then dash into the coin like that. And obviously if you have the Chaser Shot equipped and you're just holding down the X button, then you may accidentally defeat the pink ladybug and then leave you no way to actually get the coin. So you just want to make sure you hold off on using the Chaser Shot until after you get that first coin. Second coin is much easier to get. Just jump into it right here. It's hidden on the right side of the screen. Then bait this bug into flying towards you. This is how you avoid all bugs in the game, by the way. Or, sorry, in this level. Is just bait them... bait them into following you like this, and then you can either jump over them or dash underneath them. So here I'm gonna dash underneath you. So you can hit me. Same thing here. Bait you into flying towards the right, then dash underneath you. Hop up this elevator right here. We're going to jump underneath you like that, and then jump up these stumps to get a little bit further up. Like so. Yeah, so just a bit of a game. You can also use the Chaser Shot to defeat them. But, you know, it's whether, if you're up for a platform challenge, you can try to avoid the bugs, or you can defeat them with a Chaser Shot. Either way works perfectly fine. It's totally up to you as to what you choose to do. But no matter how you go about this, you can just bait the bugs like I've been doing right here to go underneath them. And then from there, it's a simple platform to get up to the top. When you get to this tree stump, you want to wait for it to go as far to the right as possible, and then jump and dash over this tree log right there. Then jump off this leaf and dash into the coin on the left-hand side, right, like so. These leaves will collapse to the ground if you the first time you step on them. So like here, it's going to be burned. So you want to make sure you're aware of that when you step on it. It's not going to stay there forever, but it will respawn. But it is going to be defeated pretty soon. Anyway, for this final coin, or not for the next coin, what you want to do is you want to jump on this wooden log, then jump on the wooden log down here. Jump on this leaf, jump on this leaf, wait for it to get destroyed, jump on this one, and then quickly jump to the wooden log directly beneath it to grab this coin. You don't want to stay there for too long. You have to jump down to the wooden log as soon as you have a clear shot to do so, like I did just a second ago. Then, what you want to do is you want to keep dashing your way over here. We have final boss coming up ahead. With the P shooter enabled, you want to quickly just use any X moves you have against these things. Also, these leaves will not be destroyed from underneath. They will only be destroyed by the boss itself. So, you know, just keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for where the fireball is going to go. It's going to basically follow your path. So if you just keep an eye out for where you're standing, you can predict where the fireball is going to go and what it's going to destroy, so that you can learn to anticipate it. And then just keep jumping throughout the leaf platforms so you can avoid the fireballs that's spitting at you. Then just keep using your X moves and your P shooter like this to defeat the boss. And once the boss is defeated, you can safely dash to the end right here, and that is the conclusion of your second running gun level. A bit tougher than the first one, but still nothing too bad. Now, I don't think we did very well on that one. Yeah, we did not do very well in terms of scorecard rankings, but we got all 5 coins, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. All that matters is that we got the gold coin, because that's what we're going to use right now to buy our next moves, or maybe not our next moves, but we're gonna buy our first charms. We have 6 coins, and the charms we're gonna buy cost 3 apiece, so we can buy 2 charms, both of which will be very helpful in the future. The first one we're gonna buy is the smoke dash. What is the smoke dash? Well, you will not take damage during a dash. A great defense maneuver. So basically, you'll disappear into thin air, and you can essentially teleport through objects. So if there's an enemy standing in your way, you can dash through that enemy, and you will take no damage. So that's very useful. Also, automatic parry. The first parry move is automatic. All you have to do is jump. So if you are struggling with parry moves, then this will make it so that you automatically parry any enemy you face or anything that can be parried. With all you have to do is just jump and it'll parry for you. So very, very useful in certain situations, and I will be sure to point those out when we get to them. It's all we can buy for now, unfortunately, so we're going to head out And then remember, we do have to equip these new charms. They aren't going to be just equipped by default, so head to the charm slot. And then for now, we're going to equip these the smoke bomb dash. Neither of these will be particularly helpful for the next boss battle. They're not required, but you know, the smoke bomb is more of a safety net if you need it, is basically what we're going for here. So now we're going to head up to this boss right here. Now, before we head to our next boss battle, we're actually going to change our weapons around. So we're going to open up the equip menu and then switch out shot A for the spread shot. The chaser shot is not going to help us out very much here. You also want to make sure you have your super equipped. This will be very, very helpful for this boss battle. Anyway, when you're ready and you're all equipped, you can set off towards Goopy Legrand in Ruse of the News.
A great plan and stuff.
Alright, so the key to this boss battle is going to be staying as close to him as possible without actually getting hit by him, which is why we have the spread shot, because this is going to do a lot of damage at close range. Now, when he does that animation, you want to quickly duck to the ground so you can avoid getting punched by his face. And other than that, the only other tip I have for this first phase is if you feel like you're getting too close to him, then you can quickly dash past him with the smoke bomb. Like I said, it's not a required attribute, but it is a safety net in case you feel like you're getting too close. You can dash through him like that. When he does his animation, you want to quickly parry off it through question marks like here to charge up your super meter for later. Now, this is when you're going to probably really need to use your smoke bomb dash because he's a much bigger hitbox now, and as you can see, I even took a hit there because I didn't dash properly. So you want to make sure... Oh, well, took another hit there because I just didn't move out of the way. Like I said, the smoke bomb's going to save your life here. It's going to be a very, very nice last resort, essentially, in case you're getting too close, so you can dash out of the way should you need to. And you want to save your super meter for the final phase. He's not dead yet. Keep shooting at him. This is a red herring. He's not dead yet. Final phase. Immediately jump up and use your super meter to do damage to him like that. Then dash out of the way so he doesn't slam into you like that. Just for this section, you want to keep your aim pointed to the sky so that you can constantly shoot the tombstone, and then get ready to dash out of the way whenever he winds up his animation to where he's going to slam down into the ground. Other than that, that's all there is for that boss battle. You don't want to use the lock in that final phase because lock, in case you forgot, the lock will allow you to aim whilst being stationary. But the reason you don't want to use it there is because then you can't. It seems like he's more likely to hit you when you're stationary, so you want to keep moving so that you're constantly able to dash out of the way in case he's like right before he's about to smack down onto you. So it's just something important to keep in mind is so you want to keep moving so that you don't get caught off guard and accidentally get slammed into by good old Goopy Legrand. So yeah, that's all there is. I took a few more hits than I would have liked to because I was sloppy with my dashing, but that's why we had the smoke bomb there to act as a last resort in case we needed to dash out of the way. Other than that, not too bad. You got the Goopy Legrand solo contract. Okay, next up what we're going to want to do is we're going to head up these steps right here and talk to this guy right here.
What's that? You two want to fly in a plane like I do? Ha! You're not sitting in any cockpit till you study those blueprints.
So yeah, hope you got used to fighting on the ground because now we're going to take this fight to the skies in our first plane level of the game. This isn't the plane level, but this is the tutorial for the plane level, which is required. You do have to play this tutorial in order to actually be able to access the next boss battle. So... quick overview of the controls. The X button is the shoot button. The B button will do your special attack, which we don't have access to right now. But basically, just like in standard gameplay, one individual super card will just do an X move. But if you have all 5 cards charged up, then you'll be able to use your super bomb morph, which is just essentially a super powerful rocket that you can fire at your enemies that you can aim. And I'll be sure to show that off when we get to it. The A button is your parry button, so you can fly through the air like this. And then any pink objects you see, you can parry them like this, just like you would in standard gameplay. Now, it says the Y button is the shrink button, but because you have to have your hand on the A button and the X button at all times, I find it much more useful to use the right bumper to shrink. I don't know why they don't tell you this, but you can also use the right bumper to shrink. That's much more useful because now you don't have to take your thumb off the A button or the X button while you shrink. Because sometimes you have to shrink while you fly. So just something else to keep in mind. When you got a grip of the controls, you can head to the exit button down here and press the A button. I will say it's easy to get used to the plane controls and act during an actual boss battle, which we're actually going to do right now. Threatening Zeppelin. Hildeberg and Threatening Zeppelin.
A brawl is surely brewing. And begin.
Okay, so the only thing you gotta watch out for in this first phase is any words she sends flying at you, such as ha. Also, any bullets that the little things send flying at you. Some of them can be parried, like the one I parried right there. But when she starts to breathe in and hail, that means she's about to charge to the left side of the screen, so you want to make sure you stay far away from her trajectory so that you don't get hit by her. As for this thing, it's going to stop moving every now and again, and when it stops moving like that, it means it's about to charge straight to the left, which means you need to be far out of its line of sight so you don't take any damage like that. Also, you move faster when you're shrinking. So if you're in if you're in a bad situation and you need to quickly get out of the way so you don't get hit by any of those attacks, you can always shrink to move like that. Now here you wanna when she summons the tornado, you want to stay to the top of the screen, then quickly move to the bottom so that you have plenty of time to get around the tornado. If you start at the bottom, you won't have a lot of time to get around the tornado safely, and you'll probably take a hit by it. So just something to keep in mind there. Again, she's inhaling, so you want to get out of the way so you don't get hit by the thing. And this is a pain, because she's going to summon a little spinny thing right here, but there's no way to know for sure where it's going to start shooting, so that's just complete RNG as to where that thing starts shooting. So you have to just stay in one place and hope that it's not going to start firing on top of you. Then, if it doesn't start firing on top of you, then you can just safely move around the circle like this and avoid taking any damage. You can also get, during this phase, you can also get this guy. It's random as to whether you get the two people that'll shoot the spinning wheel of death at you, or this guy will fire a crossbow, or sorry, has a bow and arrow, which will fire little blue stars at you. If you get the blue stars, you just fly in a circle like this to dodge all the blue stars, and that's all there is to it. It's not that hard. Either one is perfectly fine. You just blue stars, fly in a circle. I mean, both of them actually revolve in going around a circle. It's just one of them you can predict because you can see the blue stars coming, you can dodge. The other one, it's RNG as to whether you start in a position where the thing's going to fire at you or not. Now, when you get to the final phase, you're not done yet. You keep firing at her. When you get to this final phase, keep firing at her. Then the second she turns into a moon, you want to equip your rocket by pressing the B button and charge straight towards her face, and then back all the way to the left side of the screen. If you see a yellow ship like this, then you need to stay to the left and don't move at all. If you see a red UFO, then you need to dash past it. So, red UFO, dash past it so you don't get hit. Yellow UFO, stay to the left-hand side of the screen, and then just keep firing X moves at her like this until eventually you knock her out. So to recap, red UFO, dash past the laser. Yellow UFO, stay to the left side of the screen and wait for the UFO to fire its laser. Then it's safe to move past it. And yeah, that was a pretty good run of Hildeberg. We got it all. That was an A+ run right there. Golly, a perfect score. Yeah, nice run. So yeah, the only thing that's gonna screw you up there is the two people that'll. It's RNG whether you get the bow and arrow guy or the people with the spinning wheel of death. Because if you get the spinning wheel of death, then it's going to be RNG as to whether or not it'll start shooting the bullets in a position where you're already standing, or flying rather, or if you'll be clear and you can just go follow around a circle. But other than that, not too bad. You got the Hildeberg Soul contract. Nice. So now, if we take a look at our list right here, you can see that we have cleared out both of the run and gun levels and every boss in the world except for one. There's one more boss waiting for us around this corner right here. And before we before we fight him, we're gonna want to make sure we go to the charm slot and equip the pea sugar for automatic parry. This is going to be very, very useful for this boss battle, so you want to make sure you have this equipped. Other than that, spread shot, pea shooter, super art 1. We are now ready to tackle Cagney Carnation in Floral Fury, the final boss of World 1.
A great slam and then some. It's on.
So why do we want automatic parry? Well, because he's going to fire some seeds into the air momentarily, and one of the seeds will be pink. And the pink seed is going to be, if you don't defeat it immediately like this, it will turn into a mini turret above the sky and absolutely tear you to shreds. You do not want that. You want to defeat it before it ever gets the chance to get off the ground, and that's much easier with automatic parry because you can just jump into it, you don't have to actually parry it. Now here he's going to either fire hats at you or a bunch of little missiles. They're both easy to dodge, so you either just jump over the hat or jump around it's pretty easy. Then he's going to gear up for a big attack, either at the top or the bottom. So just see where his face is standing. And then, if it's like sitting still at the top, then you want to hide at the bottom. And if it's sitting still at the bottom, you want to hide up at the top. And the hat's really easy to dodge because you can just jump over it when it spawns in, and then head down to the bottom layer, and then just jump over it again. Again, you want to make sure you keep all the pink seeds at bay. You do not want to deal with any of them. If you're looking for a consistent way to dodge them, I like to dodge them by dropping down here, then jumping to the left, and then jumping over them like this. You kind of saw me do that here. Final phase, immediately jump to the back left-hand side, and then use your super move against this thing. Then equip the pea shooter to shoot it from range. If you can get close enough to this platform to use the spread shot, then by all means go ahead. But more often than not, you're gonna find that these vines are pushing you back to the left-hand side, and that's why we have the pea shooter. Because if you can get close enough, then by all means use the spread shot. But if you can't get close enough, then you want to make sure you have the pea shooter back here so that you can use a long-range move against him and still do damage to him without having to rely on the chaser shot. So, probably the hardest boss in World 1. There's a lot of things I had to explain there. Just make sure you have automatic parry so you can immediately defeat that the pink seed flying above. And that's probably that's the key to make that much easier, because with the mini turret up there, this boss is much harder than much harder than that was. The hat, just drop down to avoid it and then jump over when it comes back around. Pea shooter for the final level or the final stage, make sure you can attack it from a distance. And that's about all there is to it. So yeah, there's a lot that I had to explain there in a short amount of time, but hopefully I managed to be concise and informative with what I was able to say. Anyway, that is everything in World 1 cleared up, but before we leave, we're going to head in between these trees to receive our first gold coin, because you'll notice that it was tucked away behind this guy before, but once you beat all the World 1 bosses, then the trees will open up and you can actually get that coin. So, something worth noting. Now we can head to the dye house. This music is awesome. Cuphead music in general is awesome. Anyway, once you beat all 5, you can come to this house anytime you want, but you can't actually proceed to the next world until you beat all 5 bosses. And once you do, you can talk to Mr. King Dice. Well, ain't that a pip? Looks like you boys really put the kibosh in them deaders. You can head on over to the next aisle. Plenty more marks for you to lean on there. Then he'll disappear into the ground, and we can head over to the right-hand side to proceed to Inkwell Isle 2.
Guys, hang on. Thank the stars I caught up with you. I believe I found a way out of the mess you're in.
Hot dog, you have?
Your strength is growing. You'll soon be a match for that no-good King Dice, and maybe even the devil himself.
Golly, do you really think?
I do, but you'll never get close to the devil unless you already have those soul contracts in hand. Only then will you get a chance to turn the tables on that fiend, so when that time comes, do the right thing.
Alright, and that is World 1 cleared 100%. So, next time we're going to start our adventures in World 2, and so yeah, World 2 is definitely much harder than World 1, but you know, it's a work in progress. Well, don't worry, I'll have the same tips for these worlds, or for these bosses that I have for the previous one. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Cuphead. Goodbye!